Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you how to draft and cut a beautiful mermaid skirt. Mermaid skirt is that skirt that fits around the waist, the hip area and flares out towards the hem. And this tutorial is going to be beginners friendly, easy to follow. I'll guide you step by step on how to achieve this. I have a tutorial on this channel already on how to draft and cut this skirts with a tray, but in this tutorial I will share with you how to draft and cut this without the tray, and you can use this style for either gown or skirt. So if you're interested in all of this, come with me and let's get started. To draft this skirt pattern, I'll start with the front and I'll come down by 1 inch for the starting line. Then I'll draw a straight line across this 1 inch. Once I'm done with that, I'll place my tape on the starting line now and mark the waist to hip line. I also mark waist to new line. In order to get the accurate waist to new line, I'll place my tape from my waist down to my actual new, then I'll come up by 2 inches. After I've marked the measurement, I'll go ahead and draw a straight line on each of this line. So this is the waist line, this is the hip line, and this is the new line. The next thing I'll do now, I'll take my round waist measurement. I will impute the waist circumference divided by 4. Then if I'll be using a dart for this waistline, I'll add 1 inch for that. After that is done, I'll come to the hip line and impute the hip circumference divided by 4. Then I'll extend the line to that measurement. After that is done, I'll impute the new measurement. The new measurement is the hip circumference minus 3 inches divided by 4. And minus that 3 inches in order to have that nice curve at the new area. Now that I'm done imputing the measurement, I'll go ahead and connect the waistline to the hip, from the hip down to the new. If you notice at the hip line, I turned the French curves so that I'll have that nice curve at the hip area. After that is done, I'll come to this waistline now and impute a sewing allowance. For this work, I'll impute 1.5 inch sewing allowance. I'll do that on the waist line, on the hip, and also at the new line. Once I'm done with that, I'll extend my hip line measurement to my sewing allowance and also the new line measurement to the sewing allowance. After doing that, I'll connect the sewing allowance from the waist to the hip, then down to the new line. After I connect my sewing allowance, I'll place my tape on the waistline and come down to mark the full skirt length. And if you're making this for a gown, let's say a gown that has a half bodice, you measure from your shoulder down to your full length that you want for this outfit. Then you minus your half bodice length. Whatever you have left, that's what you use for your full skirt length. So I've marked the full skirt length. I also added extra 1 inch for sewing allowance. I also drew a straight line to mark the measurement. Once I'm done with that, I'll come to the hip line and measure the hip line. Whatever I have at the hip line here, I'll go to the hem, that's the full skirt length, and I'll also impute the same measurement there. After that is done, I'll just connect the measurement this way. Now, the next thing I'll do is to determine how wide I want my skirt to be. If you notice, the thumbnail I used 2 skirts because you can make it either the wideness should be at minimal or the wideness should be very wide if you want it to be very full. Now for this skirt, I'm going to add 7 inches. That if you want it to be a minimal, if you don't want it to be very full. And if you want it to be very full, you can add as much width as you want it to be. After adding the 7 extra inches, I will connect from the new all the way down to the full length there. Once I'm done with that, I'll come up by 2 inches. Then I'll connect from that 2 inches into the full length this way. This is in order for me to have a nice curve and to eliminate any sharpy or pointy effect at the hemline. And we are almost done. This is the front skirt pattern and you can see how beautiful it looks. I'll go ahead now and cut it out so that we'll continue with the back pattern. And if you've watched to this point, thank you very much. If you enjoyed this tutorial to this point, please drop a heart for me. Let me know if you enjoyed this tutorial and don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button and let me know your thoughts on this tutorial in the comment section. So after cutting, this is what I have. So this is the front pattern and the fabric is going to be unfolded into 2. So for this back pattern, I draw a straight line at the side here to mark the starting line. So now I came out about 2.5 or 3 inches from the edge of the pattern before I marked my starting line. Once I'm done with that now, I'll also come down 3 inches from the edge of the pattern at the top here this way. I will now draw a straight line at that 3 inches mark. This will serve as a starting line at the top. After I've marked my starting line, I'll go ahead now and place this front pattern on this new pattern paper, starting from this line that I marked. Before I continued, I went ahead to pin it down so that it won't move while I'm working with it. So at this waistline now, I'll come out by 1.5 inch. At the hip, I'll come out 2 inches. Then at the new line, I'll come out 1.5 inches. The extra 0.5 inch I added at the hip line is for ease at the butt, and this extra allowance I'm adding here is for zipper allowance. At the full skirt length, I'll also add 1.5 inch and extend the full length to that 1.5 inch. And I'll also go to the waistline now and connect from that waistline to the hip. That is the allowance I added at the waist. I'll connect it from the waistline down to the hip, then from the hip to the new, then to the full length. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm just basically connecting the allowance that I took. And that is all for the zipper allowance. The next thing I'll do now, I'll come to the waistline. At the waistline, I'll come down by 1 inch. After marking that 1 inch, I'll connect from the side down to the 1 inch this way. Now, if you notice, my starting line for the front pattern is not on the starting line for the back pattern. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to cut out this straight line. Then I'll draw a new line on this waistline for the front. I'll mark the same thing for the back. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So now this is the full view of the skirt. The allowance I added, the zipper allowance at the hip and the new line, and also at the full length. This allowance here now is the center back, and for this front pattern is the center front. So I'll go ahead and cut it out for us to see what it looks like. And if you've watched this point, thank you very much. Please let me know what part of the tutorial you enjoyed, and if you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section. And don't forget to like, subscribe and share. I am done cutting the side. The next thing I'll do now is to cut the center back. As you can see, I'm cutting out the excess close to the sewing allowance. And my skirt is ready. To transfer this pattern to the fabric is going to be on fold, and it's going to be one piece. While for the back pattern, the fabric is going to be on fold with right side facing right side. But after cutting, we'll have 2 pieces. And before I forget, I'll go ahead now and cut out this waistline out for the front pattern, and there we have it. Our pattern is set and ready. And if you want to learn how to cut a mermaid skirt with cut together tray, I'll drop the link for you on the description box so that you will launch it. So I'll go ahead now, I'll pin this and remove the front pattern so that we'll see what the back pattern looks like. And you can see this is our back pattern and it looks so beautiful. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial so far, and if you do, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more. See you in my next video.